Hello. Hello, kings and queens. Hello. Hello. Happy Saturday. Hello. Hello. Thank you for tuning in today on the Mother Earth Show. I have a very, very special guest with me today. Very special guest. Hello. Hello, kings and queens. Hello. 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 Um, Hello. Hello, beautiful people. Hello. It is a cold day in Atlanta, Georgia. This weather's so bipolar. Hello. Hello. I pray everybody's doing well. Hello, beautiful people. Hello. Thank you for tuning in.
Oh,
Hello.
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 Hey,
Hi,
greetings.
King. How are
Hey,
you?
Queen. Hello, Queen. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing
That's
well. Our
good. How's your family?
family is great.
That's good.
And
That's good. It's such an honor to be talking with you today.
absolutely, I feel the same exact way. It is an honor to be talking to you, Queen
Yes.
Mother Earth.
Yes.
It's an
Yes.
honor.
You are a very beautiful man inside and out. Your
Wow.
story is so amazing, so uplifting.
Wow.
Your story has some similarity to my story because I survived 3 heart attacks and
Really?
yeah, I've been through a lot, and that was 2 years ago. So
Oh,
now I
wow.
learned the importance of just taking care of yourself, taking care of your
Absolutely.
mind, your spirit, just taking care of you. So
Absolutely.
right now I'm on the verge of trying to get as healthy as I can. I'm not on any medications. I'm trying to do everything the
100.
natural way.
Wonderful.
I just stopped eating meat for 2 months, and I feel complete difference. So I'm
Wonderful.
just on that route of just trying to get better
Wonderful.
and just do everything the natural way.
Yes, that's
So
beautiful.
yes, and I got to purchase some of your products that I was looking at because I was saying I got to start doing sea moss because sea moss is very good for the body. But anyway, Keith, let's talk about your story. Let's get to you today, Keith. First of all, you are CEO of your own business.
Yeah.
You inspired me because I'm trying to be like you. Trying to
Really,
get my
really,
stuff
you
out.
know,
So
yo, also, you're doing an awesome job nurturing talent and
thank
as
you.
well as doing what you love to do. And that's what's really important. You know, it looks like you love to do this. I can feel your energy in every one of your posts and every one of your pictures. You embody this forum.
Thank
So
you, Keith.
that's what it's about, really. You know, really for a long time, I didn't know what it was that I was like created to do or what was my purpose.
Mm.
A lot of times, you know, so now that's why I love to discuss it and to speak about it, because now that I know what it took for me to be able
Mm.
to acknowledge what my purpose is and to actually know what it is that I love to do, right? What have I been nurtured to do? What have all of my experiences brought me to, that I can do for myself that makes me happy first, and it's going to outwardly help all of humanity. It's going to touch others and bring out the best in them. And that is healing, you know?
Yes, yes, King. Yes, beautiful.
Yeah.
So, King, let's just start talking about your story because your story is truly inspirational, truly inspiring. Let's just talk about what led your transition to find healing as your purpose, as your calling.
Nice, nice. So I guess, you know, like a lot of things in life, you have to go through, as you know, in order for you to evolve and elevate through growth, you have to go through some struggle or some type of challenges. So I was blessed with the opportunity. And before I begin, I wanted to give thanks to all of the women energy that nurture and that are able to see talent. Before I begin my story, I said that I would do this. I need to give it up to the mothers, the aunties, the sisters, the wives
Yes.
that know how to,
Mm.
that still are conscious of their innate nurturing quality, their
Mm.
innate merciful quality, because the first aspect in my beliefs, the first aspect of mercy that we have is with that of a woman. You know, when we're nurtured in the womb of our mothers, that is a mercy. We're protected from all harm. We're protected from anything harmful, anything that can cause harm to us. We're in the wombs of our mothers. So with that being said, to all of the aunties that I have that helped to nurture me when I may have been on the wrong track, or that helped to see talent in me and that were able to give me direction, that were able to invest in me. I don't have to name you. You know who you are in my life. And I wanted to send out positive energy of gratitude to all of my aunties and my mothers, my village mothers. So that being said, I was blessed with the opportunity when I was 18 years old to travel to West Africa. I have a strong interest in languages and speaking different languages, because I believe language is the way to communicate. So in the process, I was there for a year and some change, and I got really sick. And at this point, no one in my village that I lived in was really pointing me in the direction of the modern medicine. They weren't telling me to go to the town and go and see the doctors. You know, they were reluctant to push me in that direction, to tell me that, you know, you should go to the embassy. Of course, when I called my mother and I finally told her that I was sick, my mother was like, go to the embassy. You know, although my mother was into herbal healing before I went to West Africa, just because I was so far away from her, I was over 4,000 miles away. So she, you know, she was just like, go to the embassy, find out what's going on. So before I went to the embassy, I had gotten really bad to the point that I was like, you know, starting to lose a lot of weight. I turned yellow all over. I didn't have any strength. So one of my elders came and he took me to a village called Chess, and I met with a herbal healer. And he made a remedy for me. And in like the first 2 days, I began to feel different, like immediately as soon as I took it in my body. Ultimately, long story short, I had the opportunity to learn that every healing aspect that we have is already in our bodies. We just have to promote that healing. We have to get our... Because what happened with me, my sickness was a liver sickness. My liver had gotten really toxic from the impurities that are there, different from the impurities I was accustomed to from being in America. So now my liver became overworked, and my liver became toxic to the point that it stopped working. When I went to the herbal doctor, he cleansed my liver. So my bodily functions, sweating, I began to sweat again. I began to urine again. I began to have strength again, whereas at one point I couldn't even drink any water. That's how sick I was. Like if I drink water, I just regurgitate right away. Just come right out of me. I couldn't keep anything down at all. Like I was just prepared to go. I was on my way out. Like I was on my way out. I was laying there waiting for death to take over me, basically. Because if you're not able to eat, you know, as we know, a lot of people, once they get to a certain age and their illness, they will no longer eat. And that's when one of the telltale signs we can tell that the person is on their way out, because we need food in order to live, or we need nurturing foods in order to live. So when I couldn't eat anymore, that's when I began to get, like, you know, a little worried and I get concerned. And then I could hear the people speaking. The language in West Africa, where I was in Senegal, is very aggressive. So the sentences they were using to explain my condition were very scary. They would say like, and that means that he's finished. There's nothing left of him. He is waste, like he's done. And I would be like, why are they saying that about me? Because, you know, I still had the will to live deep inside of me. My spirit was still like thriving, but my body was done. So, you know, I began to take the mixture that the herbal doctor gave me, and it was a fermented mixture. As days went on, it began to ferment. So he told me to just drink a cup of it every day and eat some of the papaya that was inside. And as I now know, papaya is excellent for digestion and for cleansing of your liver, as well as for your stomach lining. So I began to eat that, and then I got better in like a week. from the condition I was in. So I got well enough to come back to America after a few weeks. And again, I came back to America and I went to all of the doctors. I went to all of my doctors that my mother had lined up for me. And they had no, like, nothing for me. They just were like, oh, well, your liver's damaged. You're never going to be as good as you were before. You can't ever drink again. You can't do this. You're never going to be of your, your strength that you had in the past. And I just didn't believe that. So what I did was I bought my first book on herbs, Natural Healing with Herbs by Humbert Santillo. I remember I was about 19 years old. This was 1994, I believe. Yeah, I was going to be 20 that year. I came home. No, I did turn 20 when I was there. So I came home in 1994 and I read this book. And when I read the book, I noticed that most of the healing that it directed you towards started with cleansing. Cleansing first, then nurturing. So we have to cleanse. So what I did is I went on a cleanse where I cleansed out my liver entirely. And I began to, I joined the gym because, a part of our wellness is also exercising and getting the blood flowing to a certain capacity every day. We have to do that, whether it's through meditation, Tai Chi, yoga. We have to breathe at a certain vibration in order for the body to be able to produce healing energy. So I started to work out. And when I first began to work out, I didn't have any strength, as the doctors say. Like, it took a while for me to get my strength back together and to start feeling like, I started slow. I paced myself. I didn't want to, I felt like, I have time, and as long as I'm still alive, I'm going to make the best of every breath and every day and every hour. And I took my time with it. And I guess as I began to notice that I became, as I was healing and I was getting better and better and stronger, then I began to believe more in what it was that I was doing. So that's basically how I overcame what I now know as I had hepatitis but I had the hepatitis, which is the infection. I didn't have the viral hepatitis. So the viral hepatitis is the one that comes after the infection destroys you to a certain point, that now the virus comes in and it usually takes its host out. It can kill you. So I didn't get to that point because I fought through and I allowed my inner spirit of life to push through, because I still felt like I could live. You got to feel like you can live no matter how sick you are. You can't give up on the life force that you have. You can't give up on that spark that took to bring you into existence. That spark is still in all of us. Some of the things we go through in life, some of the events, and some of the traumas, some of the relationships, all of these things will dim your spark.
Speak, King. Oh my God, speak.
They will dim your spark. Yes, these things will dim the spark. They will tarnish your spark or your light. And it is for us as humans to continuously keep ourselves the light that we were born in, that we were created in. We were created in light. So we have to keep that light going. We have to keep that fire burning, in other words. You have to keep that desire to live. You have to keep, there's a lot of people who are nowadays suffering from anxiety and stress, right? And it's the same thing. It's the same thing. We have to feel that we are worthy of life first. Because we still have life. As long as you still have life and you're alive, every day counts. When you wake up every day, wake up in gratitude. Gratitude is a very important energy or vibration. I'll keep on saying gratitude, because gratitude will always help us to look at the good and not the bad. It'll help you to look at what's going on good that you have in your life, and down to, I woke up today. I'm standing. Some people who can't stand, I woke up. Even though I'm just sitting, at least I woke up. and I'm breathing. So there's a chance for me to grow. The opportunity is there to grow, you know. So that's basically what I have finally found as a means of me being able, because my background was not healing for a long time. Like, I didn't know that journey that I had at 18 years old or 19 years old was going to be what brought me to my purpose. So I got into a lot of different fields or career paths that I were able to help people. You know, I did customer service, I did quality care, I worked in a medical facility, I did medical management, all of these different things. But I began to see not only where they were like a dead end, and I was inside of a system that had already been programmed to do more destruction than to do of healing. You know, the medical world, you know, as you said, you're no longer on any medication. We have to celebrate that, because medication, I've noticed, medication usually brings about other medication, because the medication that is prescribed is usually going to have some good properties as well as some bad properties. If it's medication for the heart, then it's going to be good for the heart, but it's not going to be good for the kidneys, right? Or if it's prescribed for the kidneys, then it's not going to be good for the gallbladder. So we're always going to have this issue with balance. So I believe that the only way that we can find balance is through the foods that we intake into our body and the manner in which we take these foods into our body. It's not just eating vegan only or eating plant-based only. It's the manner in which we do it. We have to find that balance, and everybody's balance is going to be different. That's what I've learned. You know, it can't be something that's like a cookie cutter. You know, we can do certain things that are cookie cutter, like you can say cleansing. You know, if I have an issue with my energy and you have an issue with your energy, we could probably both do the same cleanse. But now, once we're cleansed, the diet that I go on is not going to be the same diet that you go on. It's not going to be something that is the same across the board, because us, you know, we're different. We're unique individuals. My background has a lot to do with it. Your background has a lot to do with it. The ways that the behaviors that you endured growing up, all of that has to do with the way that we maintain our well-being. You know, the languages that were spoken in your household, all of these things we have to take into context nowadays as we begin to become highly elevated in the way that we live, because it's what it's all about, is living. You know, nowadays we live, and they say this is a death culture, which I regret to hear that, you know, that we're in a death culture, that everybody's promoting death. You know, I don't think that that's I think that that's a very negative thing, but I also think that it's done intentional, that it's promoted intentionally in attempts to bring us off of our path of being kings and queens. You know, that we think that we will allow stress to overcome us more, to allow just normal things that we go through in life, you know, normal everyday challenges. Now people are thinking about taking their lives, and they're thinking about taking, you know, nowadays we have more group killings and group, all of these things more than ever before, because nobody is really showing any value to life. That's what I'm getting at. When we bring back the value to life, then each and every individual will be elevated, is my beliefs, right? This is why I, you know, decided that I needed to take this path, right? I decided that this is the journey that I need to take, because this is the path that I've been on unknowingly, right? So now I have to take this journey of wellness, because everybody needs to know that you're worth living. Everything that you need to live is around you, right? So what else? Are you in Atlanta, Georgia?
I am, King. I'm in Atlanta.
Okay, all right.
And
I didn't want to do all the talk.
You in New York?
Yeah, I'm not in New York actually right now. I'm at my facility, but I am from New York. Yes, you know, I
Okay.
came over here to the facility, but I'm not in New York right now.
Okay, because you're a very, very busy man, so I know you be everywhere. But I know you're from New York, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I'm born and raised in New York, in Brooklyn, New York. I grew up in Brooklyn, New York.
Beautiful, King.
Yeah.
Beautiful, King. So, King, oh my God, you just everything that I've been going through in my personal life, what I've been feeling, you just spoke my life, half my life. And
Yes.
I needed those words of encouragement, and the reason why I started my show was to uplift my kings and queens, because I believe love is universal. I have love for everybody. It doesn't matter what shape, gender, age.
Awesome.
I don't believe in talking about people. That's probably why my show ain't picked up yet, but I know one day eventually will. One day I get the sponsorships, the team, because I don't talk about people. I just don't. It's not in my blood. I just don't do that. But you know, these days, you know, the more mess you talk, the more foul you are, the more you'll get entertainment.
Yeah.
But maybe one day, I know one day it will happen, and I'll be all over like Oprah.
Yes.
But until then, I appreciate stories like yours. It gives me more encouragement to keep going, because we all need help. We all need that encouragement. We all need gratitude. We all need to learn love and gratitude. The world needs love. I preach this all day. The world needs love and self-love. So, Keith, so tell me how important it is to have self-love.
Wow, awesome. So self-love, it's amazing that you say that, and it's ironic that you said that your show is not, you don't believe that it's at its full potential because it's based in love. I agree with you 100%. I did some speaking in the past. Oh, I took a speaking class, and I made all of my speeches about, you know, they tell you have to speak about something for 2 minutes or 3 minutes here and there. And I was like, I noticed that after the first go round in the class, no one spoke about love. I was like, how come nobody speaks about love out in the open no more? How come nobody speaks about, I mean, just the different aspects, the different perspectives, or the different ideologies about love, or, you know, nobody speaks about this. Everybody's quiet about love, you know. So I began to talk about love, right? And when I began to talk about love, it was very moving and everybody appreciated, but some of the people were like, I don't want to hear that stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear, you know? So it's amazing you say that. So self-love begins with a certain aspect of selfishness, right? You have to be selfish. I'm not saying that you have to be arrogant. I'm not saying that you have to be I'm not saying that you have to overlook anyone else or be negative towards someone else. To be selfish, you have to be selfish to know what your boundaries are, what you will stand from others, what you'll stand, how much of energy you're going to be willing to give to another person, right? Because some people will only thrive off of negative energy that they get from you. They're only going to be content when they pull you into a negative engagement. So you have to therefore decide beforehand that I'm not going to go into a negative engagement regardless. I'm going to stop the engagement, and I'm going to preserve myself. I preserve my self-worth in not engaging negative. I'm not going to give anything negative energy. I'm not going to waste my breath, right, on negative energy. I'm not going to waste my breath. I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste anything on a negative engagement, because a lot of people, they want you to come. You know, there's a lot of deflection going on nowadays. However people feel inside on their own, they're deflected on you until you get to the point where you got to be now proving yourself that this is not what you're doing. But as long as you're in that energy realm, they have controlled you to a certain extent. So what I speak on is no one is in control of another human being. The only thing that you can control is your responses, the way that you respond to someone. Absolutely. And what's key is breathing, being close to good breath. Because when you're close to good breath, you're close to wellness. You're close to wellness of the mind, which has to come first before wellness of the body, right? You have to think it and believe it, and then you will act upon it. So before someone gets you trapped off into a dysfunctional engagement, it could be in a relationship with someone you work with, someone you involved with, someone in your household, a sibling. It can be anybody, anywhere. These negative engagements because of deflection, because however a person perceives, it all comes down to perception. However a person, you can show me one movie and show another person a movie, and they'll see it totally different than I see it. They'll see it that, oh, everything was negative in the movie, right? Absolutely. And I can say, oh, no, it had a little bit of negativity, but overall, it had a good message. And that is why we have to control how we respond to different things, right?
That's so true.
I noticed a lot of times, I'm one of the kind of people that I engage people a lot, as you probably can tell. That's my personality.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah, I engage people. I talk to the youth all the time. I break up fights. People say, oh, you're not supposed to do that, mind your business. I don't believe in that, mind your business. I feel like, right, I feel green. And when I say I feel green, like a tree or like a plant, right? A plant doesn't get out of the way for the wind. It just bends, and it allows the wind to go by, and then it stands back up. So it basically is flexible, or it basically is constantly willing to endure any type of conditions. That's kind of like how I am, how I perceive myself. So I was